Hello, guys. This is Connie Bloom from Electric Boys, and you're watching CMS TV.
From the Smokin' Delta Voodoo release, that is Every Mother's Nightmare with Push. And kicking off the show tonight, we heard Chris Caffrey with Pisses Me Off. And a guy who's pissed off at a bum wing and flu symptoms is my good friend and partner, Chris Aiken. What's going on there, Chris?
What is up, sir? How are we doing?
Are you broadcasting live from your hospital bed?
Yeah, that's it. That's my neighbor behind me.
You had to share a room.
Yeah, I got to share a room. I'm not wealthy like you that can have my own single.
Your copay wouldn't pay for a private room.
No, so we're gonna have to keep it quiet so I don't wake her up.
Well, at least are you getting some of that in the middle of the night?
Come on, she's old.
She doesn't look that old to me.
She's in here for a diseased uterus. I don't want it.
Why, you want to bear some more spore?
No, I don't want that either, but I don't want some of that it getting on my dick, if you know what I mean.
Very nice. Well, we're back after a week away, and I was away last week, and I was giving Chris a little time to try to help heal, and you had news for me today.
I did?
Yeah, you said that you were going to do the whole show tonight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do the whole show. I don't know for sure that it's going to be in front of the camera. I'm really kind of testing the wing out here today. And I'm not going to lie, it's already not cooperating a little bit. But I have gadgets over here. I have like this adjustable arm thing over here that I have my arm hooked on so that it doesn't have any pressure of gravity pulling it down. And I've got the new vertical mouse right here that I'm using to put less pressure on the wing. And it's been an adventure, to say the least, but I am feeling better. So,
well, it's been what, 5 weeks now?
7.
Has it been 7 weeks?
7 weeks. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's been a long run, but it came to a head this week, and that's why I think it's finally getting better, because I was all pumped up that it was starting to feel pretty decent.
Okay.
And the doctor had told me, the previous doctor, which we'll get to, the previous doctor had told me, he was like, don't push it, don't make it hurt. But once you guys get, or once you're feeling okay, go ahead and get up and try to do a little bit of work. Just try and, sit in a chair for an hour, try and mess around with the computer for an hour, but don't do too much. Don't do too much stuff with it. And I was like, okay, cool. So I got up the other day, like 6:30 in the morning, sat down in front of the computer, got a little cup of coffee, put my arm on the new armrest thing, started working a little bit, worked for about 90 minutes. Was like, all right, starting to hurt. So I was like, okay, let me get up. I'm going to take a little walk around, shake the blood around a little bit, just kind of take a break, right?
Right.
I get 10 fucking feet and I have day 1 pain again.
Oh boy. I
was like, son of a fucking bitch. So I literally, as soon as I sat back down and got my arm to settle down, I'm on the phone with the hospital. And I'm like, I need to see somebody else. I need a second appointment or a second opinion. So they hook me up. I go to the urgent care center. They take me in, and then you're going to love this story. It's so fucking Chris Aiken, it ain't even funny. So I get there. My daughter had to drive me. I couldn't even fucking sit in the car to drive. I couldn't even close the door to the car. That's how bad my arm was. So my daughter gets me there. She drops me off. I come in. The one thing, as I've been saying over and over again, what's the problem? I can't sit or stand. So what do? They sit me in the waiting room. I'm like, son of a fucking bitch. Meanwhile, thankfully, there was not many people there. I didn't have to wait a long time. I was only like 10 minutes that I sat in the waiting room before they took me, which was good. But so I get brought in. I talk to the nurse lady. She's asking me the same old dumb shit. Well, at first, she put like they do at the, you obviously have not been to a hospital, but you still have to wear the mask.
Really?
Yes. It's the dumbest shit.
I haven't been to a hospital in many, many moons.
Yeah. There's no masks anywhere else in the world, but you still have to wear the mask when you walk into the hospital.
All right.
So I walk in, she hands me the mask. I'm like, arguing grumbly. But at this point, I just want my shoulder to, you put a fucking bag over my head. Just fucking fix my shoulder.
Right.
So I put the mask on and they take me back and they do the vitals. And as they do the vitals, they they do this read. And I've never even had this. Even when I had COVID, I didn't have this reading on my vitals. They took an oxygen test.
Okay.
And they're like, do you know that your oxygen level is 94? And I was like, no. She's like, are you always that low? I was like, I don't fucking know.
Well, what's a normal level?
I don't know. That was my point. I had no idea. Is it 94 out of 1,000,000 or 94 out of 100 or what? And she's like, well, that's not normal. I was like, well, gee, maybe it's because I'm wearing a mask. And I mean, I really was testy. I was not in the mood for stupid. And she's like, well, your oxygen level's low. I said, yeah, because I'm breathing through this fucking paper mask. Oh, maybe that's it. Then she's like, well, your blood pressure's a little bit elevated too. It's like 153/80.
Yeah, because I'm in a hospital situation. I'm stressed.
Yeah, with off the chart pain. I mean, I go to the hospital because I'm in pain.
Right.
And she's like, oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. She literally said that to me. That makes sense.
Your body is stressed. You're stressed. You're in a uncomfortable environment. You're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, your vitals are going to be high.
Yeah. So it was so dumb. And so needless to say, I start off this appointment annoyed as fuck. Not only annoyed as fuck, but also 6.5 weeks in on this pain that won't go away. So I'm frustrated. I'm angry. You got angry Aiken that day. No question. For a while, then I mellowed out.
Well, here's angry Aiken.
Jesus Christ. Son of a bitch. What the hell are you faggots doing?
Exactly. That was exactly me. So needless to say, she takes the vital. She goes out. And 10 minutes later, in comes Dr. whatever his name was, Hauser or something. And not Doogie Hauser. This was definitely not Doogie Hauser. It was like an older than me guy.
Right.
He's probably older than you guy. He was probably like, if I had to guess, he's either 65 or 45 with a really crabby wife.
All right.
He's one of those, he looked older, glasses, the big square glasses, like a big bald spot in the back of the head, one of those guys. Typical, almost like if you'd imagine what an eye doctor looks like, that was this guy.
Yeah, he looks like a banker with his asshole sewn shut.
Yeah, of course. And he's got the big dumb mask on with the permanent straps that strap to the back of his head so it doesn't fall off no matter what.
Sure.
It's one of these things, right?
It's a 500-mile-an-hour mask.
Yeah, exactly. So he comes in and he has all of the charm of a bad Stephen Wright set.
Okay.
He's just
he drones. He drones.
Droning on and just rifling through shit like he clearly doesn't want to be there.
Okay.
And I mean, he's just going, have you ever suffered from diabetes, heart attack, plain foot fasciatia, blah, 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 just listing a bunch of shit. And before I can even say no, he's already marking it. He's one of those deals. He's like, no.
This formality, ever suffer from vaginosis?
Yeah, that was about it. And just rifling the shit off, point after point after point.
Right.
Just horrible, right? And I'm just like, oh, man, are you kidding me? I'm getting really annoyed because I'm thinking this is not going to go well. So finally we get to my shoulder after 10 minutes of going through what diseases I do not have. We get to my shoulder. He brings me over to the, and oh, there's another part. So there's like a bed thing in the room, but they sit me in a chair.
Right.
And again, the only thing that makes me hurt is sitting. But they left me sitting in the chair.
Yeah.
I was like, son of a, and I'm looking at the bed going, oh, I gotta lay down.
Bitch.
I was really fucking annoyed. I mean, I was really, really, really fucking annoyed.
Yeah.
So finally we get to the shoulder and he starts really cranking. And I was actually okay with this. He took my arm and twisted it and turned it into places that honestly, if there was no damage to it, it would have hurt.
Right.
Like he at one point had my arm almost like a cop would if they're putting your arm behind your back and cranking it all the way up to give you a little tune up.
Sure.
I mean, he was really cranking on my fucking arm. But I was okay with that because at least he had his fucking hands on my arm and he was feeling around to try and find like knots or tears or whatever. So I was like, okay.
If it was out of place or something.
Yeah, he was trying. And he gets all the way through that and he's like, okay. He's like, you had a diagnosis before of just a severe muscle strain and a strain to the radial, right? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. And I'm like, whoa. And I was like, nope, no. I was like, I told him, I said, I'm not leaving this hospital till you take x-rays and till you get a CAT scan. You guys are going to know what we're fucking talking about this time. Because as of yet, I had not had either.
Sure.
So he's like, okay. You know, he didn't want to do it, but he saw I wasn't going to give up on this. So they do all that. They gave me a full round of tests, which they do the test or he writes it on the chart and he's getting ready to leave. And he's finishing his notes and we're small talking a little bit before he leaves the room. This is the Chris Aiken part. Out of the blue, this old man says to me, he goes, you wouldn't be happen to be related to a bass player from a Finnish folk metal band, would you? And I was like, what? And he goes, oh, never mind. Don't worry about it. And I just was like, well, who's the band?
Right.
And he goes, oh, you've probably never heard of them. They're called Nightwish. And I was like, never heard of them. I just interviewed Floor Jansen like 6 months ago. Now this guy, this drab, boring dud, I lit him up like a goddamn candle on a cake.
Is that right?
He's like, holy shit, you know Floor Jansen? And now all of a sudden I'm not Mr. Aiken anymore. I'm dude.
This is the old guy, and he's a fan of
Nightwish.
How about that, huh?
But it was funny because as soon as I said that I had interviewed Floor Jansen, I stopped being Mr. Aiken. And now I was bro and dude and bud.
Wow.
He's like, oh, bud, that's great. That's fantastic, dude.
Did he change his Stephen Wright delivery then?
Yes. He totally was like excited now because he had somebody to talk about Nightwish to.
All right.
So we ended up talking about fucking Finnish metal for 10 minutes. I was like, and when he left the room, I was like, how does this fucking happen to me?
Yeah.
How does this happen? But it was what it was, man. It was, it was at least that happened. So the bottom line is they ran me through all the tests. They come back and it is the same diagnosis. And I was like, son of a bitch. But at least this time, this doctor, because I told him, when he came back and gave me the full diagnosis, I said, you cannot just send me home and tell me to keep putting ice on this thing. You got to I'm begging at this point. I'm like, bro, I'll suck your dick if you put a fucking cortisone shot in my shoulder, anything.
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, we're not going to give you a cortisone shot, but we'll give you the oral steroids to take home, the prednisone.
Prednisone, yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll take the prednisone. And so I've been taking it now for, I think today is day 2 or 3. All the days are just blurry to me now.
Sure.
But however long it's been, 2 or 3 days, and remarkable difference. Like the tingling, the best part is my hand is no longer numb. I spent the last 6 weeks with my fingers being all tingly, and that's gone completely. And the shoulder, I haven't had ice on my shoulder in a day and a half, 2 days, whatever.
Kind of takes the swelling down a little bit.
Yeah. but it's taken on so much of the pain away. So it's a lot better. I feel okay. I'm not, like I said, I'm going to do at least 2, maybe 3 segments, maybe the whole show. I don't know. We're going to see how it plays tonight. But if it starts hurting, I'm going back to the bed just because I am not re-aggravating this fucking
Yeah, well,
thing.
I don't blame you.
But,
you do what you got to do. If you got to, do the segments you did from the bed a couple weeks ago were pretty good.
yeah, they were fine. I mean, they were, it just feels weird.
Yeah.
Watching a picture of me on the screen. That
Sure.
felt a little weird. But I mean, the segments are fine. It's not like it's affecting me being able to communicate.
Right. It's just your ability to sit up and, be on camera.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. And it's just, I'm like, I'm going to do the show. I'm not promising I'm going to be sitting here with Mammy behind me in the hospital bed.
Right. You might have to call in with her.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, so needless to say, it is getting better. I'm feeling somewhat better. I'm actually getting a lot of work done, which is good. So, getting back to normal. So, but hey, real quick, I'm going to put this one up. I'm going to change topics here for a second.
All right.
We can go back or we can go to something else.
Well,
I'm just putting this up for a second. I just want to remind everybody that the segments from last week were best of segments.
yeah, I saw some comments on the best of segments that said, I hope Officer Jim gets better.
That's it. And I got personal messages. I must have got 15 messages about his Officer Jim. How's he doing? Is he okay?
Right.
I'm like, all right, that was 1.5 years, 2 years ago, however long it was when he had the COVID.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. I know these are new on YouTube, but
Right.
it was actually 2 years ago. Officer Jim is fine.
Yes, Officer Jim is fine.
So nobody's dying. Nobody in our world is dying right now. So
I mean, he had a bout with it and he had some issues, but he is well back to work doing all the normal Officer Jim things that he does.
that's good.
Yes, so
Yeah, I know. You saw him too.
I
Huh?
did. I saw him. I was just like, what the hell is that all about?
Yeah, it's because I put up the segment.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. And I was just like, holy cow. All right. We're so damn good. It makes us sound relevant 2 years later.
I know. It really is amazing. Either that or we're so damn bad we don't talk about anything current.
Right. Of course. Of course. Well, on another note, you missed your Chris Aiken Presents show, and you were a little down and out with something.
Yeah, well, not only was I down and out with my stupid shoulder, but then I caught the flu for 24 hours. It was the worst, dude. I was so pumped, and to be honest, even more than me being pumped was Eric. Eric was so pumped to be doing that show with because we had Kip Winger on and Frankie Hanna from Tesla on the show, and they're all going on the cruise, and Eric's going on the cruise, the Monsters cruise. So he was all pumped up. I woke up that morning or whatever time I woke up, and I just was like, oh man, I do not feel right. And it ain't the shoulder. And I was just like, man, have I been taking so much aspirin that you ever take so much? You probably have not, but no. Every once in a while, I'll when I start really hurting, I'll take just a handful of aspirin, like four aspirins at a time. And sometimes it'll just really fuck with my stomach.
Okay.
Because you're not supposed to take that much ibuprofen at once, but
yeah, especially on an empty stomach.
Yeah, exactly. But so I thought maybe I just took a few of them. So I'm like drinking water, trying to flush the shit out of my system, right? I just kept getting worse and worse. And now on top of everything hurting on my arm, now the joints are getting all tight and stuff like I'm getting the fucking flu. And I'm like, oh man, this is not good. So I tried my damnedest to just drink water all day, like literally probably 5 gallons of water, just trying to flush it out of my system. And it just got later in the day. And it just got to the point, it got to be in about 4 o'clock. I took my temperature. It was 102 point whatever. I was like, fuck, I can't do this. There's no way can I sit in the chair with my arm hurting and fucking running a fever in this cold ass room. And, at least the last thing I could afford is to get really sick right now. So I called my friend Seth. out of the, at 4 o'clock, an hour before he's doing his show.
Right.
And I said, hey, bro, can you sit in for me and interview Winger and Tesla? And he's like not even interviewed anybody really in a long time. And he's like, holy fuck, are you kidding me? I like threw him in. But
it's a good thing you had a musician on board, though. That, be relatable. So
it was. But so I quickly wrote down some questions and I sent them to him and I sent them to Eric and I let them both know what was going on. And I gotta say to about Eric real quick. I'll give him the plug of plugs. That motherfucker stepped up.
Yeah, I saw him messing around with the sand digger masks and all kinds of shit.
He put on a damn funny show, but I had no idea that he could lead with the podcast.
Oh yeah, he's a very quirky guy.
Yeah, he is. He's fun. But I just didn't know, because on that show I'm the lead. He's only done how many episodes? 10?
Sure.
He has not done a lot of podcasting really. And then I threw Seth under the bus because Seth, I threw him into the water cold. Here, dude, lead this show that you've never led before, talking about music that you've never heard.
Right.
Here, go for it. I didn't exactly set them up very well, but they did a great job. It was they did a really, really fun show. So
I only have one bone to pick with your friend Seth.
Yeah, that mic.
What is up with that? That drove me nuts. He's like pulling this mic up and he's talking like this, and he's so close on mic, he gets distorted at times. And
I told him that this week.
What is that? How he does his show?
Which has to stop.
I mean, I'll be glad to throw a couple shekels his way if he needs a mic stand.
Dude, no, he needs a mic and a mic stand. And I sent him a link. Literally, that show was Monday. I sent him a link. I think Tuesday. With one of these. Okay. I said, here, you got to buy this.
Yes.
I was like, this is what you have to buy.
Holding this up and, getting in on it and distorting. And I was just like, oh man, I'm watching this show because I'm finding it entertaining because of course. And I wanted to see how your friend and, fellow podcaster guy would step in and, the holding the mic. And I was just, this is
the mic is, and it's a bad mic.
Yeah,
it's not a real good mic either. So, because if he did the same thing with this mic with a Shure or like your mic, it wouldn't have sounded too bad. It would sound okay. You might hear the movement a little bit, but it would sound so much cleaner. So yeah, I did tell him. I said, you got to get a mic, bro. I even told him. I said, if you want me to buy it, I'll buy it. I don't care.
Because that was going through my mind today too. I was just like, does he need a few dollars to get a mic or something, or what's going on?
No, I don't think that's it. I think he's still learning tech. That's the one thing
that's the whole thing with him. He was in the radio for.
I get it, but he never had to buy the tech. He just used what the radio station gave him.
He was around it though.
I know. Believe me, I know. I'm working on him. I'm
not, okay. All right. Again, I'm not being. I'm not trying to be critical of him personally. I just was like distracted by all that, and I was just like, oh, "This is not."
Everybody, I'll just tell you straight, and I'll tell it straight the way it is. Everybody is not me and you that just will put stuff in front and test and test and test and test. Most people, they're a little scared of the technology. And when they're using the technology, they only know how to use it one way, and they don't ever try to figure out new shit.
Right.
It's just the way it works.
Right.
And, this podcasting thing where now you have to set up cameras and green screens and lighting and microphone, all the different pieces. It's overwhelming for a lot of people.
Right. Well, the thing, my attitude has always been the same as yours. If you're going to do something, do it right.
Yeah, do it all the way.
Just do it right. Don't half-ass it, or especially if you're in some kind of a capacity where you're quote unquote being an entertainer.
Yeah,
because you're trying to entertain an audience, not distract them or go, oh, that's a tough listen.
Yeah, I mean that's it. But we are in his case, we're definitely getting him a different mic, and we're getting him a mic boom, and
fair enough.
So yeah, I thought those guys did a great job with it. I thought Eric especially did a great job with Kip Winger. That might have been the best Kip Winger interview I've ever seen.
I had to laugh at Eric for ragging on his chick.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think that's hysterical.
Yeah,
I mean, I know his chick, you know, I've
Yeah.
hung out with her and him and stuff. And I just thought that was funny. I was just like, oh, I'm going to get in trouble for this, but
yeah, but I'm going to do it anyway. Good for him. Good for him.
it's so funny. But I did enjoy the show. And,
Yeah, me too.
you know, like you said, Eric did step up and he did a great job. And, you know, it helps being a musician and having a little insight and kind of having some common acquaintances and things.
Sure.
So that helped that along.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. You know, so onward we go. You know, Chris Akin Presents will be back. I will be on Chris Akin Presents Monday. We have Blitz from Overkill is going to be our guest on Monday. That'll be nice. So yeah, onward we charge, man.
Perfect. Well, while I was away,
Yes.
I added a new member to the CMS arsenal.
Oh, did you? Jesus, you and the guns.
I would like to present to you the Beretta 40 caliber.
There it is. Look at that. Randy Weaver gets another gun.
Yes, look at that. This Sam, I don't own a 40 caliber. Now I do.
Now you do.
But that was one of the calibers I don't have in the Neeley arsenal, but I have one now, and Beretta makes a very quality gun. And so this one was kind of a different looking
Sure.
color scheme, and I hadn't seen one before, and I thought, you know what? I'm getting that.
There you go. What that one set you back? A couple bucks?
Yeah, it was 900.
Oh, all right.
Wasn't
How much
too
is 40 cal ammo? Is it expensive?
No, not really. In fact, I bought $900 worth of ammo today. Not just for this, but
Okay.
I put in an ammo order for myself and my two nephews and my brother-in-law.
Okay.
So I put in an ammo order, outdoor, what's the name of that place again? They like Jerry C. Very nice. Let's see here. I buy my ammo from a place I believe they're out of North Carolina called Outdoor Limited. And I'll tell you what 40 caliber ammo costs. Let's see here. I bought 180 grain 40 ammo, full metal jacket, 200 rounds for $66.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so it comes out to something like 40 cents a round.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
No, not at all. So
Yeah.
what I did buy, I bought 150 rounds of Winchester 22 Win Mag.
Okay.
That's from my brother-in-law. I bought 300 rounds of 9mm NATO 124 grain full metal jacket for myself and my nephew. I got 100 rounds of 357 Magnum. That's for me.
Nice.
Then the 200 rounds of the 40 caliber. That's for me. I bought 100 rounds of 44 Magnum. That's for me.
Jesus, you also bought yourself a fucking lifetime pass onto every watch list in the country.
Exactly. I bought 300 rounds of 45 auto full metal jackets. I bought let's see here, 400 rounds of 5.56 AR-15. I bought 300 rounds of 7.62 for AK-47.
There you go. Wow.
And I bought 100 rounds of 12 gauge shotgun.
You don't worry about your cleaning lady stealing this shit?
No, I have that all locked up.
Okay.
I keep it locked up, out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
So all in with tax and whatnot, it's just shy of $900.
Whew. Well, you're the one that's making the fortune over there, so might as well, right?
Yeah, I'm pleasing myself.
Oh yeah, dude. Does you no good to throw all that money under the mattress or whatever.
Yeah.
It does no good for you. Might as well enjoy it while you can.
And this is the 2024 will be the last run for the Camaro.
Okay, so you
So I am putting in an order for the new Camaro.
Are you going to buy it in cash?
I am.
You son of a bitch. I fucking hate you.
Well, between my trade-in and the balance in cash, yeah, I'll pay it off at the dealer.
What kind of cash is that going to be? 25?
Just see. I think mine appraises at around 20, and then I believe the new one is like about 48, but then our good friends are giving me a discount for the GM discount.
Okay.
Get GM loyalty discount.
Right.
So I'll be plunking down about 25.
You don't want to sell me the current one for 1,500 again?
15.
2,500, whatever I paid for the last one.
Yeah. So yes, I am getting the 2024.
Look at you.
The last year.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. And then you'll put guns in it. Nobody will want to come near you. You're like, fuck you.
Right. That's right. Fucko.
That's right. That's fucking funny.
Yeah, so I'm getting the black on black, like my current package. And
right. Nice.
Yeah. So
when do those actually ship? Do you know?
Well, I believe they start manufacturing them in August, and they're only going to manufacture them through the first month of January. So August to January.
How many are they making? Do you know? Is it like 1,000 or 500 or?
I don't think there's a limited run. It's just just the last run. It doesn't say that it's limited or anything. It's just that this is the last roundup for the Camaro.
Okay. Well, that's very cool, man. Look at
that. I guess, Chrysler is also putting an end to their Challenger and putting an end to their Charger. And I don't know if I don't think Ford is going to end the Mustang or not, but the big muscles are going away.
That's right. Now that we have these cool e-cars, whatever those are called,
these electric cars.
Yeah, these EVs.
Because they don't sound like cool cars now. They're equipped with Bose systems that make it sound like here's my sound to like Hot Rod.
That's right.
How fuckity is that?
It's not cool at all.
Honey, flip the switch. I want to sound like a rumble car. It's so dumb. God, I hate everybody and everything. We live in such a society.
Yeah, and with that said, this is your new life coach, Neeley.
I'm just tired of it. Well, that's going well too. I ran into some CMS fans last weekend.
Okay.
I was out with the boys in Dockin for 2 nights, and ran into CMS fans, which is always nice to see people out wearing the CMS swag and stepping up and introducing themselves and things, which is always good. So I appreciate that. And a couple of folks said, I signed up to be in your life coach, your class. Just like, okay, I got everybody on the list here. So I'm going to start scheduling appointments with everybody.
First thing you did, you looked at their hands and said, hey, how many of those are you going to drink? Put one back.
Well, I'm not an advisor. I'm just a life coach.
Are you proud of yourself drinking that 5th beer? Does that make you feel good?
Yeah.
Is that being responsible?
That's so funny. Yeah. So anyway, that's going well.